A very good morning, guys. So, today we'll be revising all the concepts covered in the previous course. So, the course is basically divided into two parts, JavaScript and Node.js. Firstly, we'll get to know what are the concepts covered in JavaScript. So, coming to the concepts, firstly, we learned about variables. Variables are basically a simple containers that store data. So here in JavaScript, variables are declared using three keywords. So firstly, uh, they are var, let, and const. So here's the lively example shown. We use a let keyword and we declared the name, and then we used const keyword to declare the age, and later var keyword to declare city. So using console.log, we are printing the respective variables. So based on different situations, we use let, const, and var. Now moving on, we have conditional statements. We also learned about conditional statements. So here conditional statements helps us to make decisions in code using if, else if, and else. So these are some conditions which they lay off before executing any code. So here's an example. So here marks are declared as 85. So there's a condition placed. If the marks are greater than 90, then it should print A plus. Then this is a else if else ladder. So if condition is not satisfied, it will go on and check the next all conditions and finally execute the result. So this checks the marks are marks and prints the grade accordingly. Nextly, we learned about arrays. So arrays here are used to store multiple values in one variable. So I showed an example how we this is basically the syntax of an array. So here we declare an array using a bracket. Yeah, here we are introduced with a new keyword let, and then we are declaring fruits array in which apple, banana, and cherry values are there. So here we can call a particular element by assigning the index. Here we can also push the values using the command array.push. This adds a new value to the array. So arrays make it easy to handle lists like names, scores, or items. Now moving on, we have loops. And the loops are basically allows us to repeat tasks without writing the same code. These loops usually save so much of time. We often use a while loop, for loop, and do while loop. Example, so as you can see here, it is declared, there is an array declared. So here we used a for loop, which states let num of numbers, and if it satisfies the condition, then the command goes into the for loop and starts executing. This prints the double of each number in an array. Nextly, we also learned about functions. So functions are basically reusable blocks of code that perform a specific task. So function is something which can be called, which is executed when a function call is enabled. So as you can see, here we will write a function to return hello and me. To just so here we are greeting pass. We are greeting. This greet function can be used anywhere by passing different names. Nextly, we learned something about objects. So here objects represent real-world entities with properties and methods. So example here you can see how an object is declared. Let student be an object. So we'll open a flower bracket. and we assign the variable some value like name is equal to Monica, course equal to web development, and here we are calling this function. So objects are basically the entities of real worlds. These are the foundations of modern JavaScript. Everything from web pages to apps uses these objects. So there ends the part one, guys. So now moving on to part two, we have we'll be dealing with Node.js. So here in Node.js, we learned that Node.js is a runtime environment that lets us run JavaScript outside the browser. For example, in servers, this Node.js is used. So it's built on Google's Chrome V8 engine, making it very fast and efficient. With Node.js, we can build APIs, servers, and even chatbots. So moving on, we have callback functions. A callback function is basically passed as an argument to another function. It runs after the main task is done. They are heavily used in Node.js for asynchronized operations like file reading or network requests. So here, as you can see, we have an example. So there is a callback function known as greet user. Here we are again calling back the functions. Like it is as discussed earlier, we are reusing the function. Function is a reusable block of code. So next, coming to since we know the parts of we have discussed the parts of Node.js. Now let us look how to install some packages in Node.js. So packages are nothing but there are some inbuilt libraries. So here Node.js uses npm, means full form Node Package Manager, to install external libraries or tools. So what are the steps include? We just have to open the terminal and we have to run this command npm int while to create a project. Then we should specify the task to perform, like install a package. So we need to use it in our code. So the major advantage of using packages is they save time by giving ready-made code for complex tasks. So now finally coming, we have after knowing about Node.js, after knowing how to install packages, we are finally moving on to the last phase. Like we are trying to make a project by building a Telegram chatbot using Node.js. So let us see how simple it is to build a Telegram chatbot using Node.js. So first, we need to open the Telegram and we need to search for the bot father. Uh, we'll type new bot, then we'll assign it with a new name. So finally, we set up the Node.js project